Nailed that intro, baby. Nailed it. Must be a Friday. I'm feeling good. Shut up. Hit the bass. Kick it. Man, it's funny how, we talked music yesterday, and then my friend Snarkosaurus, said he's having a bad day, sick of his music list, needs something to pull him out of the funk. And I shared Wild West End from Dire Straits, one of my favorite songs, man.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Walking in the Wild West End.
That is,
and what a great, the first part of the song,
yeah.
You know what it is?
Tell me.
Stepping into Angelucci's for my coffee, my coffee beans. And it's National Coffee Day, Matt. We're going to get to that. Man, I want to share firstly, one of the great stats in sports I've seen recently.
What's that, Bob?
Round Lake. This is Round Lake, Illinois, north of Chicago. I played against Round Lake when I was an Antioch Sequoia back in the day.
Quarterback Robbie Heffernan.
Round Lake's Marco Jimenez has 93 tackles in 5 games. High schooler. It's an impossible number. It's an impossible number. I don't know how.
What is that?
I said to you, what they must have
18 a game.
18. I mean, the kid's got CTE already this season.
he is a magnet to the ball for sure.
93. Congratulations, Marco Jimenez. Like if this guy doesn't get a D1 scholarship immediately.
Any stats on how big this kid is? Like, is he a monster?
You don't look big if that's him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And is that him with the ball or him trying to?
No, that's him tackling the Panthers, baby. Panthers down his pant leg.
Well, he missed the tackle there, unless he's going to.
No, I'm telling you, he's got that guy's arm, and he's got the grip like the kung fu. He's got the GI Joe of the kung fu.
I think the guy scored on that play. He missed that tackle. I think he's the last guy on every pile. Is all it is. He's getting the stats.
We don't know anything other than that. Congratulations, Matt. Friday, so every day we like to bust balls, but this was great. Joe Biden in Back to the Basement, coming to a theater near you this fall. Your new one for the administration is Broke Back Better. Broke Back Better.
Yes.
Followed by or Broke Back Broker, right? Followed by
I like Broke Back Better. It's the new slogan for the Biden administration. Broke Back Better.
It's Build Back Broker, Matt. We got it wrong. Build Back Broker and Build Back Broker Mountain.
Right.
I don't know.
I love it.
Let's stop with the nonsense and get to some real important shit here, because today's National Coffee Day. Thank you, Rachel White, for inspiring me this morning. Coffee, wow! I'll tell you what, that will get me up in the morning.
How did she get that selfie? Her hands are not on the phone.
I'm telling you, there's a lucky guy in the room, as far as I'm concerned.
Or girl.
Or they. International Coffee Day.
Or they, Bob.
Or they, he, him, his, her.
It. Nobody. No one.
Nobody. Nothing. That's me. Coffee, Matt. National Coffee Day, and coffee on a freaking tear.
Has been on a tear.
Them. Thank you, Lee. Them. I want to be part of them.
Yes.
Bring up coffee.
All right. I will gladly bring up coffee, Bobby. Yeah, coffee's been on a run really most of the year. And matter of fact, it was one of the things that we talked about in the room back, when we were doing our year-end kind of review, that the base here at around 100 was a solid place. And sure enough, this thing has doubled, Bob, this year. And coffee currently trading 204.20, been as high as 215. You're like, oh, time to sell it, double top. Not so fast. This thing can do this and has done this. I remember 2011 when it peaked all the way up here at 300. Now, when it rolls over, good night, Irene, and it'll go back to that, normal pricing level. But we could see the same thing. Then we saw a little half-back bounce in 2015. Isn't that interesting? How you kind of take that sell-off, come back, and then, so you see this kind of wave playing out here. If we get above this 225 here, I would put a target. And if we get above that, Bob, we could trade very handily to 300 again. Who knows? Anything's possible. But I would be in no hurry to sell this thing. Again, coming back to the short-term charts, really, we're way out of balance. Balance is still down here in 123 down to 101. But unless this thing really starts cracking under, 170 in the next few weeks, I wouldn't even look at it as a short. And it's tough to buy here too. So, but it's through the roof.
And, well, no, I don't have it. I'm not quick enough.
We still have Rachel, which I wish we need to have Rachel's mouth moving when you talk. That would be perfect.
All right, man. A couple of things. This you shared yesterday, I believe, in the room. General Dynamics Corporation cancels vaccine mandate after roughly 40% of employees declined the jab and threatened to walk. There is power in numbers, and as a tight labor market, especially, like, who are you getting to replace 40% of your employees?
Well, especially engineers and people that design missile systems and guns and, butter is not what they're in. They're involved in very technical stuff. So, yeah, and let's take a look at the GD chart. It's not what you think GD stands for. It stands for General Dynamics. But General Dynamics has had a heck of a run. War is good. War is profitable. And jumped up to 206 here, still trading 197. That news, I think, hit on the 18th, Bob, which got us probably, off this bottom here. That thing had kind of rolled off down here. The 21st was the low, and then it, rallied back to almost 199 again. This thing is like everything. It's overcooked, but, who knows? It could go higher, could go lower. If bombs really start flying across the world, who knows? But it is an interesting story that, again, you can't replace 10% of your employee base if they're quitting, especially in hospitals that are already undermanned, understaffed. I mean,
well, not only that, Matt, I mean, as this narrative evolves and there's major pushback and major capitulation, right? That's capitulation right there. They mandated it and they said, you know what? No, we're not going to. American Airlines did the same thing. There's capitulation. Yep. And what does that do to the jab companies? Two things affecting the jab companies, right? There's capitulation here. And there's also Merck and Pfizer coming with, early treatment options,
prophylactic,
Pfizer, Mectin, ivermectin, I heard.
Well, Merck makes ivermectin.
Yeah, I know, but it's like $8 for a regimen, and the new one's going to be whatever, $2,000. I don't know what it's going to be. It ain't going to be $8 though.
We're going to add a little saline to it and call it the new thing.
Exactly. But let's look at Moderna because it's strictly a jab company.
It's strictly mRNA company. We talked about this earlier. We talked about this here. We said 370, 380 goes, man. And this thing, and we were gapping down pre-market today based on this, new horse dewormer news. That's now not a horse dewormer. I guess it can actually work on people, but we got to call it something else and price it a little differently, as you said. That being said, we talked about this just Tuesday, Wednesday. We said if that number 380 goes, watch out below. And sure enough, we've traded as low as 323 today. We've bounced here 335. Obviously, here's the intraday chart. But this is a runaway gap train. And when you have that type of gap down and follow through, night, lights out. Lights out. We talked about this. Mwah. Nice knowing you, Myrna. Nice knowing you. Glad I don't have you in me.
And it gets real interesting if they scramble for the exits.
Well, it does.
Because it's already started.
Because Bob, look at this. I mean, we broke out of that area here in August. So we've got August, September. We've got 2 months of solid 2 months of trapped traders now above us and trapped in $120 range. Right. So 120 down from 370 gets you to 250, which is, somewhere in here. There's not a lot of support. We went up on smoke and mirrors. And blew off our top tested, failed. I would love to sell 380 again. I don't know if we'll get a bounce up to that level. I'm sure we will. There'll be some new, Biden in his basement news. Getting the 17th jab on a set somewhere in the Irvine.
In Obama's basement. Come on.
In Obama's basement.
In Obama's basement, for sure.
On Nantucket. Who knows where they are? Anyways, but this thing, it held where it should. This little 320 area got down to 323. So it will go here again. And this should be concerning to you. There's no support in here. There's been no buyers, no sellers. And yes, the birds may be circling. And I just wanted to look. I haven't even looked at Merck today. That stock has been pretty, imagine that. Runaway train to the upside.
Yeah, because they got there. You cancel replace, cancel the jab. Give me the expensive.
So this is how markets work, right? This is, market cap just shifted over to the other drug company.
We say it all the time.
Oh, by the way, Merck, if you can believe this is hard for me to believe because Merck's been around, I'm guessing 100 years, right? Merck is worth 208 billion and Myrna is worth 135. It was worth probably close to that 200 billion.
With one drug.
With one drug.
One drug.
One drug that is not even a drug. It's a test med.
Right on.
Still a test med.
Matt, along with this storyline, we got this shared by Dave Collum. Love Dave Collum.
Love him.
Old curmudgeon.
Funny guy.
Smart old curmudgeon. How to destroy your franchise. Somebody else shared this as they went through the drive. I don't know if this was the drive-through or in the store. Burger King, please have your vaccine card ready to show cashier to purchase. Thanks. We want to deliver you heart disease and diabetes, but we want to make sure you're safe with the vaccine.
We want to put fake food in your body, but
how about this? Davey remembers it as being called Carol's.
With a K?
Huh? Wow. Anyway, what do we find out as the parent company owner?
Restaurant Brands International is what you told me.
Restaurant Brands International. I'm going to stick with that. We're going to look at the price discovery either way, but they own Burger King, Tim Hortons, Popeyes, and a few other.
Popeyes. That's probably why they've done so well here. $19 billion market cap, paying a 3.5% dividend, which is interesting. It's kind of interesting. And this is, again, something I don't trade. And I love doing these exercises with you, Bob, because we get to see. Peaked here at 71, just like a lot of the market in April, and has come off, not harshly, but this should be concerning to you that we're staying below kind of the main pivot of this chart. So, you put a little bit more inflation in the consumer's pocket, and it gets more and more difficult to buy fast food. I don't know. Is Burger King on the EBT program along with Popeyes? I know some McDonald's are, but I don't know about Burger King.
What is EBT?
Food stamps.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do not know that. But for me, looking at that chart, yeah, it's. I don't think it goes anywhere fast. But if a giant part of the country is saying no, and you're going to dissuade them from purchasing your product, I don't know how that's good long term.
My thing is, like, do you on a drive-through you got to show your Vax card? That's
like I said, I don't watch that. I don't know for sure. I can't imagine you need to show your Vax card at the drive-through, but I can't imagine a lot of things that have happened.
Again, can I get the STD panel of the chef at Burger King?
Probably. You probably can. All right, Matt, what else do we want to cover? Oh, I know what I want.
Hey, we talked a little football last night, Thursday night football, which you poo-pooed, and and on paper maybe the games looked poo-poo nasty.
I did. I didn't watch a fucking snap of anything.
But Miami, who looked like dirt again the whole game, and then somehow had a last-second field goal to win the game at home. I'm like, fuck, they're going to pull this thing out. And the poor kicker on a 32, 35-yarder boinks it off the left upright, missed it. And then my favorite, though, of the night after that play was watching the urban legend just devastatingly blow a 14-point lead with his former quarterback, Joe Burrows, who left him at Ohio State to win the Nationals championship for LSU, and then beats him again at home in Cincinnati with the last second field goal by the Bengals last night. I was happy about it.
All right, man, we talked about this coming in. Inflation numbers out. U.S. inflation rises sharply again in August, stays at 30-year high. A couple of points here. Inflation rate in the 12 months ended August, 4.3, highest since 1991 when George H.W. Bush was president. The thing that we both found intriguing, Matt, is how many times we've looked over the past, decade, past 5 years in particular, stocks, the parabolic move of things, and it doesn't make commodities. You get left sides, right sides, and they're multiples, right? And so my first thought was, wow, it's 4.2. What if we double that? What if in 6 months it's 8.4? What if it's a triple, a quad? Like everybody's like, well, that can't happen. I don't know, man. When you start talking 3.5 trillion, like it's nothing,
like it's play money, like
it's play money. I don't know. We just see left and right sides all the time, and maybe inflation is on a left side of a parabola here. And
that brings me back to my favorite game growing up was not Monopoly. There was another game called Payday.
Oh yeah, I remember Payday.
And we used to play it during these times in the 70s when it was full on. I was preteen playing this game. So it's like, it just put it back into my mind, the Payday game and the inflation that was real and rampant for sure in Detroit, where I grew up. And I'm sure where you grew up in Chicago too. Like you felt it with the Heffernan family of 12, like the food costs.
Oh, exactly.
Brutal.
It was serious.
Yeah.
I mean, it was serious. My mom would coupon clip from 3 or 4 different, believe me, it was just pain. If you went shopping, it was like the most painful day because you're going to 3 grocery stores,
dragged around, and you don't
get dragged and ragged, and you're in line because there's a 2 chicken maximum, right? And she's got 3 kids at 3 different lines with 2 chickens in them. The mom knew how to beat the inflation system, and that's
but at least
story.
It was only 19 cents a pound, at least.
Unbelievable.
For the Friars.
All right, so that one, and then where's the zero hedge? No, I got to tell you, zero hedge is so good, right? But this is the one. A looming energy crisis. People are going to die this winter. You might think that that's just a clickbait headline. Right. And that's actually what I thought too. I'm like, come on, Tyler, you're better than that. You don't need a clickbait headline. But then how easily you forget that in the catastrophe of Texas last year and the grid going down, over 200 people died as a result of power outages in Texas last year. And the other one, amazingly, back to this one, in China right now, they're rationing electricities in more than half of China's provinces.
Maybe that's why they made Bitcoin illegal.
Illegal, yes. It was one of the pushes. Like we don't need the money or the energy to go there. Anyway, energy markets are going to continue to be volatile as can be. I mean, you shared the other day, nat gas had a 10%, 15% drawdown in a day.
15% drawdown in a day.
I mean, this stuff is getting for real. I mean,
yeah. And it's, then it rallied back yesterday. Now it's down again. I mean, if you want to trade something that's moving, you better know what you're doing. But
hold on to your onions if you're going to trade.
Natural gas is in play
gas.
Right now. It's definitely in play. Just made a lower high here, though, yesterday. So
why don't you pull it up? Let's look at nat gas and crude. Let's talk crude. Fuck you.
What's wrong with nat gas?
Oh yeah, bring up nat gas. I just said it.
All right, hang on. I'm trying to bring it up.
Finding it.
Just trying to get my charts moving here, buddy. A lot of moving parts. And hey, the Saints of Newark comes out today. Came out at midnight on HBO Max. I think you might be able to see it at the theaters at AMC. Maybe if you're long AMC, you can go spend your money there. I don't know. But natural gas down today, 4%, Bob. And let me just bring up the chart here for you. No comment on the Saints of Newark.
You know what? I'm cautiously optimistic, but cautiously, because so many times,
Yeah.
a hype of
Hey, listen,
something.
I got HBO Max. It won't cost us any extra money to go to AMC theaters. So come on over. We'll watch it
Right on.
after the close today.
That gas, I mean, it's the 15-minute chart. So that's what, a month?
That's 2 weeks. We're looking at 2 weeks. We had the blow off here up to 6:30. That was Tuesday morning. And again, we had a little rally back yesterday after dipping all the way down here to the point of control, 5:30, rallied again to 6. So 5:30 to 6, Bob, what is that?
Seems
70
to be the
cents?
meat now.
That's 30%. Just by the way, that's 30%. Or not 30%, but yeah, I think it is 30%. That's a huge move. Huge move. And now today from 6 back down to 560 is 40 cents. Again, down about 4% from 4 or 5% from that move. Or excuse me, my math is off today.
Hey, it's Friday. Don't even worry about it.
It's been a war this week. It's been a war.
All right, man. Let me share one other thing as we leave. Nuance, baby, nuance of standard deviation modeling and timeframes. And what is it? October 1st. So we roll the month, Matt. And
Yep,
I just want to point this out.
Final quarter. The final quarter.
In the final quarter, we're in the fourth quarter of 2021. Incredible. Time just is speeding. Talk about parabola.
Yep.
Speed of time elapsing seems to be on a left side here for me. Anyway, this is the monthly. That's standard deviation modeling. Let me get rid of the modified moving average cross on there so it's crystal clear. 43.45 up momentum on the monthly. First time we opened below here since I don't know, October or November of last year. And we immediately rejected the lack of momentum to the upside on the monthly. Right? We recaptured. We talk about recapturing. We recaptured it right away.
Recapture.
So that's kind of my longer term line in the sand here for the spoos here, and we should be able to test it maybe today. 43.45 monthly up momentum level. And what I want to point out on the nuance is if we put in a lower candle again this month, we're going to start to affect the slope. And I talked about this on dailies, weeklies, 3 days, any time frame I'm looking at. When you start to affect the slope, and what I mean by that is changing it from positive, which they all are now, to negative. We talk about triaging the market, Matt, because that becomes an unhealthy sign for this longer term. For sure, it hasn't happened yet. For sure that we can recapture up momentum and take out 43.45 and sail away October and have a strong fourth quarter. I'm just telling you those are the type of things that I pay attention to, no matter what time frame I'm looking at.
Did you just give a shout out to Christopher Cross and take me back to the 70s again? This show has been all about the 70s.
Did I just say sailing away?
You did. You said, come sail away.
All right, let's look on. Now, we talked about this. The Russell, for sure, that's already rounding in the Russell, right? They've spent this year sideways, basically. So that upper band sideways. Last month, they tested it. A perfect physical, no way. You're not getting back into up momentum, rejected it. We'll see this month that comes in at 23.17. And the NASDAQ right now is right at it. Dead balls, nuts on the line. Again, longer term charts, important to pay attention to the important levels on them. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah. And in these types of markets, again, just like it's almost the opposite of the momentum that was to the upside. When you go up, you can almost sell the new highs a couple points above them and they'll retrace because everybody thinks it's going to break out. And now you're seeing the same thing on the downside. We saw it this morning. I told you this morning, watch us test last night's lows, especially in the NASDAQ, because it's been the most wide moving of late. It went down there in the opening hour. It had gapped up overnight, took out everybody that got short in the hole in Europe and in Asia, right? So they do that, take care of those guys at the close of their markets. Then they whoosh it as the US market opens. They take out the low, but only by a tick right at 7:30. So the opening hour, the IB, right, gets pushed. But the SPOOs and the Russell did not even get close to their lows. I mean, they got close, but not close, so not like that. And the bonds weren't confirming anything. They were just kind of stayed.
Yeah, the bonds are dead sideways.
They were just, they went up, they went down, but at the end of the day, if you look at a longer term 15-minute chart, the thing hasn't moved in a couple of days, higher or lower. So that was giving you no help that the sell-off was going to continue, because if the sell-off was going to continue, the bonds would have been selling hard too, and they weren't. Neither was the SPOOs. So you buy it, and the thing goes up 200 points again, 150. And so my point is, don't get short in the hole. Don't get long in the hole. Long in the hole is breaking out. Short in the hole is when it's breaking down. Those don't work unless it's really a new area. So this really wasn't a new area. Matter of fact, the low that we put in, especially and most of these, was just the same low that we had. It was basically a test of the low from last week, and we had to do that. So who knows? We may even have some upside next week.
Right on. Again.
But further upside is going to be an opportunity for you to sell again if you're fortunate. So that's when you want to sell. This is not a new bull market just because we tested here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you have to trade differently, and you have to perform and think about this. And when you get these bounces, and you get violent bounces in bear market rallies, you get violent. And if you don't get off, like if you're trying to get short on a new low and you don't get out right away, you're going to get screwed hard. And especially with the leverage that comes along with futures. So I just, again, just want to point that out to people, that it's not an easy game. You and everybody and his brother can see that it made a new low, and it's not a reason to sell something.
Let's do just a quick little crypto thing, because I want to bring up the monthly in Bitcoin also. Wow, the production is fantastic today. There's the last time we visited crypto, China banning. But let me share the Bitcoin chart on the monthly, because it's interesting too on this recapture level. Up 10% today, 9.5% today, moonshot. There was some sort of buy program that kicked in, and it didn't kick in on the news that we both thought that was important, was the Fed saying we have no intention on banning. For sure, they're going to regulate, right? But 51,230 up mo on the monthly, and you'll see the last 2 months they penetrated but unable to close back in the recapture and close back in that up momentum setup on the long-term monthly chart. I think that's where they go ping. I know that's a level on the profile. And there's going to be an argument there for sure. And so for the Bitcoin bulls, if you can recapture in October 51,230 and close above there, it may be off to the races, and a test of the all-time highs and maybe further. But that's the first line in the sand as far as I'm seeing. Just wanted to talk about it quickly on a Friday.
Let me throw it out there. Since you like the monthly view, I love to look at the monthly on stupid things like pet rocks. And I don't see a heck of a lot that's any different than, again, the long-term picture. It's froth, nothing but froth. We had the takeoff in last October, and we haven't come back. And it's holding, by the way, it's holding the 10-period moving average again. Look at that. Ding, 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 ding. It's holding it until it closes fully below it. On the long-term picture, you get a bar that gaps down here. You can, if you're just a moving average guy and a monthly, put your bid in here at 40,000, like you just could have there, and you could have put it right here.
You know what's staggering to me there, Matt, is the zero definition on the profile.
None, because there's no time.
Yes, I agree with that. And so I know for you that's a harder thing to look at, because the profile has no definition.
Well, it just means like I don't want to buy it. I want to buy things that have friends, in low places supporting me. And for me, and again, I just pulled it back to a longer term chart, a shorter term chart. But for me, if you want me to buy in a weekly chart, you got to get back to 300. So I'm not going to be buying it.
A lot of risk from that profile perspective.
A lot of risk.
All right, Matt, it's Friday.
That's why I don't trade Bitcoin on a weekly or a monthly chart, though.
Right on. It's Friday. please enjoy the weekend. Please join us at marketvital's.io. Please share the broadcast far and wide. Lee's asking about uranium. Matt, do we have a uranium chart?
I don't. I looked up uranium and I got UX and I have no data. So I don't trade in nukes. So I don't, what? Oh, wait, it did finally populate for me, but I don't like it. And I would recommend Lee and everybody else don't freaking touch uranium.
Especially without a hazmat suit.
It's more of a pet rock than pet rocks are. Look at this thing. So there's a great example of what not to trade. Here you go, Lee. Never trade uranium as a retail trader unless you're sitting on a couple billion in cash and have a long-term market timing mechanism, which you may.
Which you have right there, and it's turned green, Matt.
Yep. So this is just a 610 chart, but again, yeah, you might want to buy it down to here. I don't know where, but nothing's even accurate. It says it's trading 43, yet it kind of shows, I mean, look at this. It trades like every 6 weeks. So again,
it's like any more trading in butter.
It's worse than milk. And
milk trades every day, dude. Butter every Friday. We get the butter pool going. Any more trading in butter?
Here's what I see. Lee. Stay away.
Unless there's another contract that's more.
I don't know. And again, I'm not versed in uranium, and it was bad enough when we were talking platinum and palladium and all those, and they all got rocked too. So be careful. Be careful trading things that nobody else trades. Lack of liquidity presents problems. Can be a positive. Again, got to have deep pockets. You better own that market. Is all I'm saying.
Here we go, though, Matt. Let's look at this one. CCJ is Camco Corporation, operates worldwide in the production and sale of uranium. CCJ, that's how we roll here. You got it? Could you find it? Could you eat it?
I can do it. Nice rally again. Pays a 0.29 dividend. August bottomed. So it's basically, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a, I don't know, maybe a counter mover. 21 to 26. I guess as long as 20 holds, Lee, you can buy it. But I don't see much.
I love that, Matt. I love that.
I don't see
much. You pick it up at 20.
As long as
don't let it close below 19, and then you might get 26.
Yeah, and then you get maybe 19's a better area. I don't know. It's just it doesn't look volatile or exciting enough for me, but that's just me.
All right, beautiful.
Certain things I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade QSR. I don't want to trade this. So this has been.
Matt, we don't give a shit what you want to trade or not. We appreciate your opinion.
This has been
and the analysis. You understand that's how this works?
Yeah.
Nobody cares, right? Nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a fuck.
But you are very good at analytics, and I appreciate that. All right, please share, retweet, get anybody and everybody around the TV on Sunday and watch our broadcasts. Matt, you have a great weekend.
Bob, who are you taking, Michigan or Wisconsin? Michigan's now -2 or +2, excuse me.
All right, Matt, here's what I'll do. I'll give you Michigan and 4, and you give me 7-1 odds.
Why would I give you 7-1 odds?
Because I'm giving you more points than you deserve.
You're giving me 2 points. That's no odds.
How many points do you need for 7-1?
Oh, probably at least a touchdown. 7.5.
7.5. Yeah. All right, I'll give you 7.5. 7.5. 7-1 odds.
Michigan 7-1, 7.5 plus.
My $10 versus your 70.
You're on.
You're on. We heard it here. Book it. The windows are open. The windows are closed. Thank you, Matt.
We'll be back with the results on Monday. Hopefully I'll have a smile, not a frown. I don't really care about the bet. I care more about just 5-0. One game at a time, Bob. One game at a time. My question is, will we have a quarterback that can throw a pass that's not because the starting guy just can't throw the ball.
Well, so, you know what you need then? You
so
need
the one-dimensional running game gets easier to stop if you don't have.
Wait a second. Did you see the Army? They attempted no passes last game.
And how much did they lose by?
No, they won. They're good.
Who were they playing?
Triple option, man. That shit'll fuck you up.
They were playing Navy with the I.
No, I don't know who they played. Army. Nope. I don't quote me on that, but I don't know if it was the first half or the whole game. 0 pass attempts. Like, dude, we're running the ball down your fucking throat. Okay, here, whoever they play, they need the kid from Round Lake,
Right.
on the D.
I need that guy making every single play on the field for sure.
All right, Matt, have a great weekend.
And by the way, well wishes to Tom Brady, and hopefully he gets well for the weekend matchup. He wasn't looking good in the presser yesterday. So
He's got the vid, baby.
double vaxxed, not looking healthy.
All right, pal. Have a good one.
I mean, if I was Tom Brady and I was the GOAT and had won 7 Super Bowls and going for my 8th at whatever age he is, say no to the vax, dude. You're healthy.
Well, not only that, how about you say no to a few starts? Like, you don't have to play every game.
Yeah, and take a few off.
Exactly.
Make it to the playoffs.
All right. Hasta la vista.